China's Model of Development Lessons for Pakistan. The book gives an eyewitness account of China's astounding transformation from 1979 to 2019, with a postscript on how China dealt so successfully with coronavirus pandemic in 2020. Book is written by Ambassador Hassan Javaid, who served as Pakistan's ambassador to Germany, Singapore, and Mauritius. He worked in China in 2 diplomatic assignments for nearly a decade. He speaks fluent Chinese and is an author of 7 books on China. Since 2016, he is the director of the Chinese Studies Center, National University of Science and Technology, Islamabad. The author has spent a decade in China in 2 diplomatic assignments in Pakistan Embassy in Beijing during 2 epoch-making eras of 1980 to 1987 and 2001 to 2003. He has also visited China subsequently more than a dozen times. He has witnessed personally from ground zero and the vantage point of Beijing, as how the Reformist leadership under Deng Xiaoping confronted the deep-rooted challenges of the centrally planned economy's transition to a socialist market economy. The book lists the hard decisions, comprehensive reforms, and policy initiatives that permeated all sectors of Chinese life, society, governance, economy, foreign relations, and worldview, etc. China's progress and success on this scale were never even within the wildest imagination of China watchers abroad or in China itself. The absence of China's expertise globally has left many in the Western world shocked to know of China's rise, while it has left many of its friends, allies, and well-wishers in the developing countries of Asia, Africa, and Latin America equally mesmerized. No amount of adverse propaganda can revert the clock of history. China has achieved in 4 decades, 1979 to 2019, which took the Western world 400 years to achieve. China did it all on the strength of its cultural heritage, governance system, visionary leadership, and soft power. The author feels that China's rise is still in its initial phase. It, however, offers some very useful lessons for all the developing countries, particularly Pakistan. Pakistan, for a number of reasons, is best placed to emulate China's success story, but for this to happen, Pakistan needs to adopt multifaceted, home-cooked comprehensive policy reforms, take hard decisions, tackling squarely the challenges it has avoided so far. The ruling elite of Pakistan needs a mindset change and be prepared to revive the national institutions, structures, and governance, to harness the underlying potential of the country. Pakistan is among the best blessed and placed countries for the future. Pakistan only needs to get out from the specter of despondency, dependency, debt trap, and decline of its development template, by adopting the sustainable shortcut provided by China's model of development. China learned from the world. It is now the turn of the world to learn from China. The conclusions of book include that the most of the recommended new policy initiatives are related to the domain of good governance. Bureaucracy cannot do it alone. Only academia, industry, and government can deliver by working together. For instance, over the past 7 decades in Pakistan's rural sector, there is a lack of rural industrialization, rural credit market and banking coverage, widespread destruction of the cottage industry, and insignificant attention to the SMEs. The resultant consequences have been low rate of domestic savings, tax collection, FDI, and low fixed capital investment, low factor productivity, poor innovation, backward vocational and technical skills. Absence of soft infrastructure, high cost of doing business. Only homegrown comprehensive policy reforms ensuring good governance, wealth creation, reindustrialization, start-up revolution, the revival of soft power, etc. can enable Pakistan's economic takeoff. Economic growth and industrialization come at a price. Only hard decisions by a visionary leadership enable China to break the vicious cycle of poverty. Pakistan's universities also need to introduce urgently China Studies modules for human resource development, not only for CPEC but for the global market. China's model of development or China's development experience can help Pakistan too. Full article can be read at dnd.com.pk/China's-model-of-development-lessons-for-Pakistan/214399